In September of 2014, I first got into running as an adult. I ran my first park run, the Barking Park Run in London, later that month. And just over 6 months later, and 10 years ago to the day, tomorrow, April 26, 2015, I ran the London Marathon. And I couldn't actually believe how close those dates were to starting running to do the London Marathon. I only found that out today when I was looking back. I was like, sheesh. And the year that followed, I had a lot of fun running all over the world, half marathons, San Diego, Hawaii, Barcelona. I ran a 100-kilometer race, ultra race through Snowdonia and Wales. Safe to say, it was a balance, maybe not quite balance, of a love and joy of running and an unhealthy addiction to some degree. And that was cemented with the fact I got an injury about a year later, a pretty severe knee injury while on set filming for American Ninja Warrior, but it wasn't brought on by Ninja Warrior. It was brought on by all the running I was doing without recovery, all the racing I was doing, to be honest. I was addicted to racing, trying to get faster without honoring my body, without listening to my body, without putting in the real safe, gentle miles. I just wanted more, very addictive. And ever since then, this 10-year journey, every few years I attempt to get back into running. And every time I get pretty disheartened because niggles and injuries always seem to flare up. Now, when I really look back and I'm really honest with myself, I never really listened to my body, even in the beginning and even in times when I tried to get back into running. I wanted to be where I was before, or at least somewhat close to it, not really listening to what is my body up for right now in this moment. Now, today marks a joyous and hopeful day as I just completed 30 days of running of phase one of my plan to return to running. Phase one, you ask? What was that? Well, phase one was just about consistency, not about pace, not about length. I was only running for 15 minutes a day at the most, barefoot and breathing through my nose mostly, so it was zone 2 or MAF kind of pace. Now, on Strava, my ego, this is absolutely nothing. I was running 7-minute Ks almost at the fastest, so that's like 11-minute miles, and for 15 minutes only. No one's giving kudos to that. Not about that. This is about consistency. This is about building the hardware. This is about being humble and just being grateful that I can run for that long. What I figured was I can run, when I go on barefoot on grass, it feels good, or on trail like this. I figured if I can run for about 5 minutes at least. I could hit 10, I managed to hit 15. That was my time. After 15, it felt like too much. It felt taxing. It would overexert me. I'd be tired for other things, and my body would take longer to recover. At that amount, 10 or 15 minutes, I'd feel all right later in the day. The next day I could go again and I could stretch and it felt nice. If you do too much, you stretch it feels tender and sore. There's a right amount that I was hitting with that 15 minutes. Goal was just to do 30 days. Part of it was inspired by Emil Abramson, who did a similar test, but with hanging for climbing, where he did only 10 minutes a day at a level of 2 out of 10 rate of perceived exertion on his hanging. And he did it for 30 days, 10 minutes a day, and his strength improved dramatically. So I wanted to do a similar sort of test with my body to train the ligaments and the connective tissues and the muscles to see if doing the right amount at a low level of exertion consistently would help improve it. Now, the original aim of this video was to do a part run test before it and a part run test after it. Now, I did a part run a few months ago in like 25 minutes or so, and tomorrow I'm going to do another part run. But I fear coming to the end of this phase one, it feels like that test to try and prove something is almost what got me in this problem in the first place. Now, I'm still going to do the part run, but I don't think the goal is to try and prove something within 30 days, how much you can improve on your running. I'm just happy to be consistent. Phase two, and this was inspired by something I heard Joe Friel say on a podcast, was first consistency, then length or endurance, then intensity. Now, I've always been trying to put the cart before the horse, trying to do intensity too early, chasing the dopamine, chasing the addiction. If I really want to run, and I want to run into my old age and with longevity, honouring that, being humble to that, being consistent. Phase two, which will come next, is to build the length. So every third, I'm going to continue to do 15-minute runs, mostly barefoot. Every third run, I'm going to add, do 22.5 minutes for the first 4 weeks or so. Then I might do 30 minutes on every third run. So start to build the endurance slowly for about 8 weeks or 60 days, something like that. Before then, I may add intensity if, all being well, my body feels good. But my reason for sharing this was I wanted to encourage people, when people see everyone gets into running and everyone's doing chasing 10Ks and half marathons and marathons. But some people, you might be like me, where you once used to love running and you got injured and you can't get back into it. Every time you get back into it, you get injured. I want to tell you there's hope. If you've never ran before, I want to tell you that 5 minutes a day, 7.5 minutes is enough. And if you can go out, if you find some grass, some trail, and you can go barefoot, even better. You don't have to do that, but even better if you can. It pulls you back to a pace that's more humble. Your cadence improves, so you take more steps. It works all the little tiny muscles in the feet and the ankles and the knees to strengthen and stabilize properly. Shoes are a tool. They're a great tool, but they're like a steroid. They can make you go harder than your body's capable of in the beginning until you build up that strength and resilience. So for me, phase one is about that consistency. I feel like I could do 60 more days of this, or even a year of this, of consistency. But I think I'm in a place now where in the first half of this, I didn't feel comfortable adding time to it. Now, the last 5 or so sessions, I've wanted to do more. I felt like my body wanted to do more, whereas before it would have been forced. Normally, I'm trying to push the edge of my limits rather than wait till I'm very comfortable in my limits and then let it push from then. I will say that one other thing that I did do was I did a 10-kilometer mud run in the middle of this that I'd signed up for. Now that was a real test because I'm only running 50 minutes a day, and I'm running 2K in that 50 minutes, 2.2K like at the most. So to run 10 kilometers with all these obstacles through the mud, didn't know how I was going to do. And I couldn't believe in those last few, it took me 57 minutes. In those last few kilometers, I was running at a really good click, felt strong in the last few. I thought after 50 minutes, that's all I'm used to, or after 30 minutes, I'll be knackered, whatever. Just that 50 minutes a day, just the resiliency that I'd built in my legs, that consistency of day after day. By the end of the run, I was still running 5-minute K pace, which is way faster than, as I said, I was running in training at 7-minute K pace. So that's like an 8-minute mile pace for the last few kilometers of the mud run, just off of 50 minutes a day alone. So I do feel that there's really strong, my N=1 study of what I've done. You can run 10 or 15 minutes a day consistently and make incredible progress with your ability to be on your legs for endurance. You don't have to be running an hour on a treadmill in the gym 3 times a week for it to be enough. This is the 80-20 rule. 80% of the gains are in the first 20%. So make that 10-15 minutes. Send the signals to the body that it needs to adapt, and then rest, stop, let it adapt. You don't need to do more than what you need to do to encourage the body to adapt. So, in closing then, I'm going to do the park run tomorrow. I'm actually excited to run it. I'm not going to run all out. That would defeat the point, but I'm going to have a good attempt to see how my body feels. Hey, Tim slicing in here post park run after the 30 days. You can see people finishing the second lap of the Mark Eaton park run behind me. Beautiful park run, would recommend. Now, I've not checked my time yet. We'll do that in a second. The time I got before I started this 30 days, 50 minutes a day was 25:29. What I did notice was that I did not feel aerobically fit at all. My heart rate went up very quickly early on. My lungs seemed okay for the pace, but my heart rate was quite high. And I noticed at around what I'm guessing was the 15-minute mark, I only had heart rate on my watch, I didn't have the timer going, was about the 15-minute mark, my heart rate went up, maintaining the same pace, kind of what you'd expect. But here is what matters. I was completely pain-free and I held an all right pace for my fitness level right now. Where I think the value in this and why I wanted to share this with you guys is that when you look at typical training models for running, you've got the Lydiard standard training principles that he developed years and years ago, back in the 60s. That's an aerobic phase, then a strength phase, then kind of a speed phase. What I feel like I've done here, and what I would recommend to anyone coming from an injury or new to running, is the phase before the aerobic phase, building resiliency in the body and the legs, the calves, knees, ankles, thighs, hips, before you start putting the miles in. Let's check how we did. 5K park run, we just ran it in 23:27. Kind of what I anticipated. It took about 2 minutes off without doing any aerobic work, just purely from building resiliency in the legs. Now we'll do the aerobic phase. Maybe I'll do 3 months, I reckon 60 to 90 days. Don't want to rush it. And then maybe we'll test again and we'll see what that can do. It's tough letting go of paces and speeds. And that's my own, that comes from my own insecurities, wanting to prove myself, wanting to earn love through physical admiration I can gain from other people for that, which is how I got it from my dad. So there's all these deeper reasons that I've not dealt with that I'm trying to just challenge with a lot of willpower to not run faster. But my body's shown me the signs that I've been disobedient to some People might not like that word, but disobedient to some greater spiritual laws that I'm not listening to, about humility, about loving, self-loving myself. And so we are designed as humans to move, to walk, to run, and to enjoy running. Racing against each other is something I'm not so sure we are designed to do, and that's why I think a lot of people break down, and that's why I think I broke down. But the joy of running is there. That's a clear fact that I think I might share with many of you people. Or if you've never ran, I think it's something every human is designed to appreciate. And this could be an entryway for you. 10 minutes a day, 7.5 minutes, barefoot, consistently. There's no one that really can't say they couldn't do that. If you could just find some grass, wear shoes, do it with trainers if you have to. Anyway, I'm rambling on now. Thanks for watching. Maybe I'll see you in the next video. I've got to walk back this way, back to my car. So we'll turn around. But yeah, stay tuned for more rope flow content, more running content. This is Tim. It's my take on the gym. Godspeed.